Hello and welcome to this episode of the Maverrik podcast. I'm your host Luke 2 and today I'm talking about what is social selling. Now on my last podcast episode I realized I talked really fast. So not in a way that no one can hear me, but in a way that I talk generally really fast when I present these. So wherever you're listening to, I'd like to hear your comments and my thoughts about this, but I still want to try and put as much valuable information as I can during this podcast story. It's very much going to be a discussion of what people think social selling is and what it isn't, because people can get confused about the practices of social selling. So connecting and pitching isn't social selling, for example, but we can get into that later on. So first, what I'm going to talk about is defining social selling. So social selling is a technique where you sell and prospect online using social media channels. People say it replaced cold calling in a sense where people would connect with a prospect or a lead or generate leads by themselves and just basically then whatever methods they chose to started to pitch towards someone. But really it's more than that. It's a relationship building technique where you can get to know who you're prospecting, who you're talking to, and essentially win new clients, develop new clients, and just keep our relationship going. Whereas with cold calling, it was a simple pick up the phone, you had a list of leads, and what you did then was try and convince them in some way or another to sell from you or maybe have another call down the line. Now, I don't have a background in cold calling. A few of our salespeople in Maverrik do have a background in cold calling. And what I've heard from them is social selling is such an easier way, mentally it's easier. It's an easier way for people to get to know someone, to nurture a relationship and to sell to them. I know for a fact that Curtis himself on an earlier podcast says he wouldn't go back. If he had to go forward and to continue his sales journey, he would always start with social selling. So that's what social selling is. In a nutshell, all it is a sales technique used by salespeople and marketers, bringing it together and develop and building relationships online to basically create new clients. Now let's talk about what social selling isn't. Social selling isn't just connect and pitching. Social selling isn't just building up an email list. What social selling is building relationships. Now, a lot of people take social selling as I'm going to sell on social channels. That means I could set up an autoresponder on all of my connections. Whenever someone hits that follow button, someone hits that like button, I'm going to immediately pitch to them. That's not what social selling is. That is prospecting in a way, but it's more of a cold outreach technique. It's not social selling. It's not really social at all. If you're using any form of automation online, it's not really social. You're using a robot to put a block between yourself and the prospects. So people get that mixed up. They just want as many people in as possible. With the technique of cold calling and with technique of just generating leads in general, people try and burn through lists as fast as they can, looking for people who are ready to buy immediately. That is not how social selling is at all. And the reason why a lot of people use this technique where they connect and pitch or use automated methods is because they are basically lacking the patience to learn about a customer, learn about a new client's problems, take it a step further and develop a relationship. Now that patience, a lot of business owners really think to themselves, well, I'm putting a lot of time and effort into selling on social media channels. I need to see returns. I need to see a sale. I need to see a new lead. I need to see these figures for myself in order to make sure that the process is viable. But it's an ongoing process. If you start your journey today, within 30 days, you could have a new client. Within 60 days, you could have 2 new clients. And the more you social sell, the more you use our 7 steps we have at Maverrik, the more you'll be able to keep consistent clients coming in. So you're not having to churn out loads of leads at the top of your funnel to make them all go down, where you have to just keep piling on as many people as possible. What you're doing is you create a relationship with one person or a list of people if you've got all the tracker and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to interact with this person today. I've got a meeting with this person tomorrow. And then the next day I'm going to pitch and have a sales call with someone that, at the end of the pipeline. So why do people get so confused about social selling? I feel it's either a lack of patience or it's a lack of understanding. Now, with all these automated tools online, with all these ways to make things easier and easier and easier for us, what we can do is forget how to be an actual person. Now, when you look back in the olden days of sales and you've got cold calling, you've got networking, you've got face-to-face interactions, it really relied on those people to showcase their personality, who they are, be people and sell to that other person. Now, online, because it's digital, there's a platform that does a lot of it for you. People can fall into the little pit of, I'm just going to have this robot send out all these messages for me. And it doesn't really help you on the line. You feel like it's personal enough if you say hi, first name, and then it says, hi, Greg, hi, Dave. Is that really personalization though? Not really. What you need to do is actually engage with someone on their content, talk about their content, what they're all about, and then develop a relationship that way. When it's so easy, people can fall into a attraction of just completely automating their entire sales process. And it sounds really good on paper, all the figures sound amazing, but you don't actually get the consistent sales down the line. All you're doing is chasing the next sale, and you're just burning through a bunch of data lists and leads. So there are a few fundamental things you need to learn about social selling. One of them is content. You need to make sure your content actually draws an audience and actually talks to them in terms of their pains and their promises. Second, you need to deliver a lot of value within that content. You need to make sure that what people see from you is genuine and straight to the point. Fourth is prospecting. You do need to engage with your audience. You can't just send out requests and expect them to come back and say, yeah, sure, I'll connect with you. You need to show yourself on the platform. So content, value, and prospecting. Those are the three pillars that I feel are what social selling is in a nutshell. Thank you for watching this. If you want our 7-step tracker, don't forget to contact us at Maverrik, hi@maverrik.io, and we will send over the tracker for you. And if you need any more information about social selling, building your pipeline, even using webinars, we have a lot of webinars about that. So join one of our webcasts on every Tuesday and Thursday. We program on at 2 o'clock in the UK time, 9 a.m. at Eastern Standard Time, all the time. But thank you for watching. Check out our next videos to the side of me there, and we'll see you on the next Maverrik podcast.